The film starts off with a woman called Alicia. She is going for a jog until a police car comes from behind and pull her over. They tell her to turn around and abuse their powers. One of the cops sees she is a police officer and stop. The main police officer doesn't apologize and leave. She then runs into a graveyard and goes to her mother's grave where she replaces the flowers and remembers. She arrives at work where she gets changed and gets ready with her work partner. They finish getting ready and leave. They go through a rough place and her partner suggests that he wants to go and get some coffee. They pull up to a shop where they see gangsters parked up in two flashy cars. The partner goes inside and the shopkeeper asks if they heard about his call, but the cop says no. The shopkeeper explains that he is let down, they didn't respond. Another man is inside where they exchange a dirty look. Alicia is outside and sees a small kid called Jamal on the skateboard. She comes out and makes conversation with the kid. The mother sees him talking to a cop, and so she comes over and tells the boy to come here. The mother and police officer have a tense back and forth, however a man appears from behind. His name is Milo. While the chicks go back and forth, Milo scolds the gangster women as the son is here and not in school, pissing her off. The man comes from the shop and questions Alicia if there is a problem where she says no. While he is there, Alicia recognizes the women as Missy, however she denies she knows her. The gangsters walk off in their cars, and while they leave, Missy and Alicia lock eyes. The cops go inside and Alicia says hi to Milo. They exchange words, and it's shown Alicia knows who he is and the rest. He greets her and catches up, however the partner leaves. She tips him and leaves, and he didn't let her pay for coffee. Back at work, she logs off and uploads her own file. While getting changed, the sergeant comes in and tells the partner that he will be needed for a double shift. While he says he can't, Alicia sees the family photos and volunteers. She goes and meets her partner. He comes across as rude and is shown to be a rude, bold Malteser's head. They are out responding to a call where there is a fight at a nightclub. They pull up to the club and Alicia comes in and grabs one of them and holds him. While this is happening, a man plans to come in and cause damage, however the partner grabs him and then begins to hit him about. He then pulls a gun and threats to kill, however Alicia begs for him to stop. He looks at her and pulls out the man's gun. This makes Alicia feel uneasy. The officers sit down and have dinner, and Alicia says sorry for what happened at the club. The partner says sorry gets you killed, and you need to understand none of them are your friends. Us in blue are. While talking, he gets a call and says they got to roll, so they leave. They arrive at an old discreet building. When they arrive, the partner tells he is meeting a C. Ian tells her to stay here because he said so. He goes inside and Alicia waits. She gets her phone and charges it. While waiting, she notices a man walking towards her. She sits back and sees him try and steal a car in front of her. She jumps out and the man runs away. Alicia gets closer to the car and turns her body cam on, but then hears a gunshot. She looks around and hears another one and goes towards the direction. She goes up and finds her partner with other cops talking to an informant. They go back and forth until a cop called Terry shoots the man. Alicia sees then as gets shocked. They spot her and Terry tries to calm her down, however one of the men shoot her in her chest, and she falls through the floor and lands on some bins. Terry gets frustrated and blames everyone for making this happen. He tells them to kill her, stage the scene, and make sure to take their body cam footage. However, when they go to her, they can't find her. They look around and Alicia almost gets caught by stays quiet. She tries to call for dispatch, however Terry overhears and tells the dispatcher not to worry as she is a new cop and has seen a shooting as is worried. The dispatcher says thanks Terry, as I got a lot of other calls to take. Terry then speaks to Alicia and says to bring her body cam footage and she can go. She almost escapes, however is spotted when she gets to the car and gets shot at. Everyone goes after her. Terry and the partner get in their cars and chase her down. She gets away to a hood and asks them for help. She pleads asking to use their phone, however the residents don't like the police and telling her to piss off. She gets spotted and runs off. While get chased, the men lose trace and regroup. Terry gets angry with everyone and blames them for letting all of this happen. They leave and Alicia is seen to be hiding. The partner does another loop and Alicia is losing blood and hears them speak on the radio. She hides from a police car but realizes it's different cops. She runs after yelling for help and they stop. A man comes out and asks her to identify herself and explains she needs to go to the station. She stops him radioing in and he tells her not to worry and get in the car. He opens the door but overhears on the radio that they found her. She runs off and they chase her, but she's too cold, she gets away. Milo is at the shop, however he hears a noise in the back. He walks to the back to investigate and Alicia runs in. He tells her to please leave as he don't want a part of this. Meanwhile, the police meet up and hear on the radio reporting something happening at Milo's shop. Alicia calls her first partner, as now learn his name to be Kevin. She calls him and explains what she saw and she needs help. She gives him an address and he make ways. While at the shop, the police arrive and Alicia says, "How are they here?" Milo explains it was him and he can't do this. Alicia begs him not to and hides. Milo goes to the door and opens it for the cop. He comes in and detains him and threats him, telling him to shut up. The other cop searches the area and finds nothing. They check his ID and let him go. The cop then asks why did he call, and he explains he thought he heard a sound and thought to call the police for backup. They then leave. Milo gets her some glue and stitches her cut up. Milo gives her a coat as she explains she will walk it to Kevin from the shop. He asks her why not just give footage to them, and she explains murder is murder. Kevin is waiting, then Alicia appears and get in and drive. Kevin says it's best we go to a hospital, but she says we need to upload the footage first. They talk and she explains what she's going to do with the footage. However, while they are talking, he mentions the cops' names. This makes her realizes he is in on it too, and she questions him, how did he know? He says she must have said, and he tries to make her believe it's him. She finds a gun in the glove box and threatens him with it, telling him to pull over. They pull over and Alice gets information that Terry and the rest of the officers were bringing in drugs, and half would go on the street and half would go in evidence, and they would split profits. Kevin explains 6 cops got caught and they are trying to get rid of all people who are a threat. While stopped, the cops find him from behind. Alicia forces the car in reverse and they smash into the cop car. She handcuffs him to the car and runs off. Milo arrives home and Alicia asks her to come inside as she has no one else to go to. Jamal sees Milo talking to the cop and recognizes her. Milo tells Jamal to go inside and they both do the same. Alicia explains Kevin was dirty and she doesn't want to let this murder slide. She begs him to stay until she thinks off something, and he hesitates but lets her. At the murder scene, Terry and the cop are talking to the captain and explain Alicia got nervous and shot the suspect and ran off nowhere to be seen. Terry then says to captain to let him deal with it just so he can sort everything out. He then asks for her file and the captain reluctantly gives it to him. While talking, the gangster pull up and the officers split. They come through and Terry lets them. He goes to the body and is upset. Terry comes and says he can't touch the body. They talk and the gangster explains that he knows 999 done this, which is Terry's department. Terry explains officially it's a cop and tells him about Alicia. He explains that she is a liability and the gangster explains he wants all of the info on her. He walks out and they talk together and they say they want a bounty on her head and get her killed. A scene then shifts with Jamal at home, where he sees a text saying there is a bounty on Alicia. Kevin arrives and meets up with the rest of the cops. They go through her file and Terry reads it out. He gets pissed and explains she has no family and no one that they can use to threaten. Terry takes out his gun and pressures Kevin to try and get information if there is anyone that he might know that they can use. Kevin then explains the only person she has seen is the guy from the market. The cops arrive at the store and go over the CCTV footage and see when Milo meets Alicia when she was running from the police and asks for his address. The gangster gets the call and explains what the cops know. Alicia is then sleeping and wakes up and finds Jamal pointing a gun at her. Milo comes in and takes the gun off him. He says she is the one who killed the man, and they see the bounty on the phone and Milo explains it's spread all over the city. He questions Jamal saying, "Did you tell anyone that she was here?" and he stays silent. The cops then lock and load and the gangsters and make a move towards the apartment. Alicia sees them outside and tells Milo they need to leave, otherwise they will kill them both. Terry booms the door down, however Alicia and Milo make a run for it. They find the apartment empty. Alicia gets spotted and they get shot at. She takes them out and the cops hear the shots. Alicia almost gets shot, but Milo saves her and takes out the man. Alicia gets worried and he doesn't know if he survived. He gets up but explains he has been shot. He tells her to go towards the church and he knows a man that will help, however he won't be able to make it. Alicia says no and she won't leave him, however he insists she goes and he will come meet her there. He walks off, but the gangsters kidnap him and take him. Alicia runs towards them, but now I bet she feels bad. Milo gets taken to a broken-down apartment and gets beaten up to find information. Milo mocks him instead, getting more beat up. Missy comes in and says for her to have a word with him instead. She tries to talk to him, but he explains she didn't kill the gang member. The gangster then comes in and gives him some more bangs. Alicia makes a final recording and leaves the body cam footage in a safe place. She then remembers that the police will only come unless a police officer is in trouble. She goes towards the hood where she can get herself killed so the police will come. Everyone comes out and lets the gangsters know where she is. She gets grabbed and taken to the gangsters and beat up. She gets punched and about to get killed, however, she explains she didn't kill him. Terry did. He says she is lying, however, she tells them she has body cam footage to prove it. He asks her where it is, however. She says she will only show where it is if she sees Milo. He shows her Milo and now asks for the footage. The police get a call that an officer is in distress and go get ready to get her back. Brown calls Terry and explains that this is bad because they will find out about the footage. Terry ends the phone and tells his partners that he needs to get it first. Missy walks in on Alicia, and it's shown how they were once friends, however, they both partnered ways where they were 17. Alicia left while Missy stayed. The gangster gets the body cam footage and tells the younger to find out how to see it. The cops arrive and they explain they all need to get the body camera and make sure to kill Alicia as well. The police arrive and storm in to save Alicia. The police come in and sneak up on the building. The kid tries to open the files but can't, so the gangster almost kills Alicia. However, the kid just opens the files on time and they see the killing from the body cam. They also see the cops shooting at her to prove she isn't a part of it. The gangster tells their men to let Milo and Alicia go. The police and the gangsters get caught up in a shootout and Missy and the kid go through the trapdoor and Milo and Alicia follow. The gangster fights Terry and tells him he saw the body cam and he have a fight, but Terry kills him. Alicia and Milo get stopped by one of the riot officers and she explains she has the body cam, however one of the corrupt officers kills the cop. She has a fight with Alicia and almost kills her, however Milo saves her and Alicia kills the cop. They hear police running up, so they run and hide in one of the apartments. They talk in the apartment and Milo says they are not going to make it out. He says he will take it to the station and make sure the footage gets seen. She agrees and tells him what to do. He disguises himself as cop and sees Kevin. They stare, but Kevin lets him pass. Milo steals Terry's car and drives off. Nice car, I can't lie. Alicia is hiding in a building, however Terry sees her and shoots towards her. He breaks in and West hides. Milo makes it to the station and plugs in the footage. Two of the corrupt cops come in to get something, however they leave. Terry goes around taunting Alicia, however she comes from behind and hits him. They fight it out and Alicia hides again. He looks for her, however she pushes both of them off the balcony and they land outside. Missy sees this and so does the whole hood. Alicia beats up Terry and Missy holds the gun towards Terry. Alicia gets the gun and tells him that he is under arrest. The moment gets ruined when a riot officer threats Alicia to shoot her if she doesn't put the gun down. She puts it down and Terry yells saying he will handle it from here and tells the rest of the cops to stand down. Milo is at the station about to finish uploading, however the same cop from the shop incident runs in and reconnaissance him. He grabs Milo and puts him against the wall and threats him. While the cop is having his boner, he sees the screen and sees that he just finished uploading the footage. Milo gets him and threats the cop instead. The footage appears on the captain's screen and she watches the event unfold. She sees the footage and makes a call telling the officers to stand down. This pisses off Terry and almost kills Alicia, but Kevin shoots Terry, saving her. Milo then bangs up the cop for some sweet revenge. Terry gets arrested and gets his arse sent to jail. Missy and Alicia then hug as friends and then Alicia then walks off. The next scene we hear a radio explaining that Terry was charged for 3 murders. Alicia then goes to her mom's grave and meets Milo. They have a sweet moment and then walk off. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more. We will see you on the next one.